class we were discussing about the peak time and all. Okay, so today we'll see the next derivation, the maximum overshoot, MP. Okay, write that in. Maximum overshoot, MP. M stands for maximum, P stands for overshoot. Okay, peak, maximum peak we can say, or maximum overshoot we can say. So what is the value of this particular maximum overshoot value? Okay, when we are deriving, so you can see that the closeness of actual response to the desired response is represented by maximum overshoot. Okay, so actually we are supposed to get the maximum response as 1. So now instead of getting 1, we will be getting the value more than 1. Okay, so that is called as what? Overshoot we say. So well, in that case, it is defined as the amount of step response overshoots the steady state value or final value at the peak time. It is expressed by the percentage MP is equal to C of TP minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity. So this is the value. This is the particular value. So here we can see that maximum overshoot means what? According to the equation only you can understand very clearly. I am supposed to get the maximum value as 1. So 1 is means what? The steady state value C of infinity. Clear. So I am getting extra. What is that extra? C of TP, the response, time response of the system when the peak time is raised. When the peak time is raised. So in the last class we derived the equation for C of we are derived the equation for TP. Okay. So in that time, how much response I am getting? Okay, minus what is the steady state value I was supposed to get. Okay, divided by percentage when you're talking about, divided by maximum value, that is C of infinity only we are going to get. Clear. So this is the expression. Mathematically we can define like this. Okay, so you can make a note of this one. Closeness of actual response to the desired to the desired response is represented by maximum overshoot MP. So it is defined by the maximum overshoot value. It is defined as the amount of step response overshoots the steady state value or final value at the peak time. So it is expressed by the percentage of steady state value. Mathematically, MP will be equal to C of TP minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity. So is this particular expression is clear to you people?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now after understanding this one, C of TP minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity, we will consider the expression. So expression for MP. When the second order underdamped system is excited by the step of 1 volt, when the second order underdamped system is excited by the step of 1 volt, the steady state value is 1 volt. Okay, the steady state value is 1 volt. Hence MP will be equal to C of TP minus 1 divided by 1. Okay. So here very clearly we will understand one thing. When we are exciting a system by 1 volt step response, okay, the steady state value will also be equal to 1 volt. Okay, that is the maximum value we get. Okay, for input of 1 volt step input, we get the output as 1 volt. Okay, that is the thing. So now this particular C of infinity equal to 1, this is already well known to you. Just for this particular derivation sake, I am repeating the same thing once again. Okay, so we need to write this particular statement. When the second order underdamped system is excited by 1 volt, by a step of 1 volt, the steady state value is also equal to 1 volt. Hence, MP will be equal to what? MP will be equal to C of TP. What I am highlighting, you can see it. C of Tp minus 1 divided by 1. C of infinity equal to what? 1. That is why we can say like this. Okay. So now in order to calculate this one, okay, in order to calculate the value, so here C of Tp minus 1 divided by 1. So anything divided by 1 will be considered as, we can discard it. Okay, denominator is 1 means what? We can discard it. So equation will become like MP will be equal to this one. C of T will T equal to Tp minus 1. Okay, minus 1 you cannot neglect. Okay, minus 1 is the fraction, minus 1 is in the numerator, we cannot neglect. Okay, if it is a multiplication or division by 1, we can neglect. But if it is addition or subtraction by 1, we cannot neglect. Okay, so now have you all taken this particular equation up to this stage? Up to this highlighted stage, is it clear to you people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once you have done this one, so we will write. Okay, so what we will write? So MP is equal to what? C of T, well T equal to Tp minus 1. C of T value is what? We'll write here. We'll write this particular equation where MP is equal to, okay, C of T minus 1. So C of T value is what? 1 minus e to the power of minus delta omega n Tp divided by square root of 1 minus delta square into sine of omega n into square root of 1 minus delta square Tp plus 5. So this is the value of C of T. So in the equation of MP equal to what? C of T minus 1 is there. So that minus 1 also we have taken here. Okay. Minus 1 we have taken here. Clear? So now once you taken this one, so here 1 is there, no? This one and this one will get cancels each other because positive 1, negative 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. We can discard this one. Okay. Once we discard this one, we know the value of Tp. Okay, clear? Because in the last derivation we have derived the Tp value. What is the Tp value? Tp value equal to what? Pi divided by omega n into square root of 1 minus delta square. So this is the value we derived in the last class for peak time. Yes or no? Correct, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you done this one, okay, once you know the value, we can substitute the value of Tp, okay, in the above equation. So like this it will come now. Okay, like this it is going to be coming. Okay. So MP MP is equal to, so substitute the value of Tp. So once you substitute the value of Tp, so try to get the answer. Okay.
Sir, what about the minus sign, sir?
Yeah, minus sign is there. I think I forgot this one. Okay. So please write down minus sign. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here you can see that sine of this particular omega n square root of 1 minus delta square, this two things get cancels. Sine 180, pi means what, 180 degree plus pi equal to sine phi, okay, according to trigonometry. So you will get this particular value here, sine phi. Okay. So in the last class also we understood that what is the value of sine phi. Sine phi according to damping triangle, it is square root of 1 minus delta square. Substitute the value. Square root of 1 minus delta square. Here also 1 minus delta square get cancels. So you will be left out with this particular value. So up to this stage it is clear to you people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, overshoot cannot be negative value. That is why we are taken in a positive value only for derivation purpose. Okay. So you just take this one only. Don't take negative value. Take the positive value only. Okay. So I don't. I think I missed some one or two sentences here somewhere. I'll just go through it and I will get back to you tomorrow. Okay. Why we are going to take positive only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you just also mark in your paper that why it is positive. Okay. So I will also go through it and I will tell you. Okay. Because nowhere in the derivation we are not going to discard the. We don't get any chance to neglect the negative sign. Okay. So we'll see why it is so. So according to me, so now overshoot cannot be negative value. That is why we are going to take it in a positive way. Okay, I'll go through once again and I'll tell you why it is so. Okay. Apart from that one, it is clear, right, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So note that overshoot MP is a function
sir.
of damping ratio delta. See here in this expression, you can see that only the pi is the e to the power of pi minus e to the power of minus pi is a constant value, correct? So only the delta value, whatever the, see, pi value will not change forever. So only delta value is going to be changed. That is why we can say that MP, the maximum overshoot, is a function of damping ratio only. Is that clear to you? Okay. So now we have, okay, the scientists have conducted some experiments and all. So they have given the one particular graph. According to the particular graph, they are telling that. So they have taken the MP versus delta curve. Okay, delta they have taken in the x-axis and MP they have taken in the y-axis. So once these two things they have taken, okay. So here what exactly they're telling is when the delta value is less, the overshoot will be more. When the delta value is more, the overshoot is less. That is what the condition, what they have and what we can understand from the graph. Okay, so you can see that. So at the origin, the maximum overshoot we can get, but when the delta value is reaching for 1, okay, the maximum value is 1. So after 0.8 only it started to be, the overshoot is becoming the 0. That means what? If damping ratio is more, okay, so there will not be much overshoot. That is what exactly the happening, because once that response reaches the value, final value, it will be stable only there. Okay, it is not going to oscillate. It is what exactly the meaning. Okay, so this particular typical graph also you can able to copy. Write the graph, all of you. So I have taken the graph, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So now this equation you just remember, okay? So MP equal to e to the power of minus pi delta divided by square root of 1 minus delta square. So last time domain specification is settling time. Okay. Last time domain specification is what? Settling time. Take the heading settling time. So now definition. Okay. Before going to the settling time derivation, so we have to see that what is the definition of settling time. So well, in that case, for a second order underdamped system, subjected to a step input, the settling time Ts is defined as the time taken by step response, to reach and stay within a tolerance band of plus or 2% to plus or minus 5% of steady state value. So when you're talking about the first order system, we were understanding that plus or minus 2% only. But in the second order system, it is extended plus or minus 2% to plus or minus 5%. We can able to get the tolerance band. Okay. So please write down the definition. Settling time Ts for a second order system, underdamped system subjected to a step input, settling time Ts is defined as time taken by step response to reach and stay in the tolerance band of plus or minus 2% to plus or minus 5% of steady state value. Taken. So once you take this one particular thing, okay. So here there is no derivation for this one. Directly they have given the expression. Okay, in your syllabus also, your examination also, they will not ask for settling time derivation. Okay. So for plus or minus 2% tolerance band, settling time Ts will be equal to what? 4 divided by delta omega n seconds. Similarly, for plus or minus 5% tolerance band, Ts will be equal to 3 divided by delta into omega n seconds. So am I audible, right?
It's
Yes, sir.
breaking, sir.
It's breaking, huh?
Now clear, sir.
Now clear, no? So previously also it was clear, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Some network issues will be there. So in Bangalore, you know that everyone is using Wi-Fi everywhere. So in village side, in my hometown, the congestion is less. That is why you will not find any problem. But when it is in the Bangalore, it is a problem. unless and until we take the broadband connection. Okay. So dedicated line we need to take. If we are using the routers and all, it is a problem. Okay. So if any voice is breaking, okay, in between, please inform me. Don't.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now it is clear, no? You can follow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the next thing is delay time. Write down. For a second order underdamped system subjected to step input. For a second order underdamped system subjected to step input, the delay time is defined as the time taken by delay time is defined as the time taken by step input to reach 50% of its steady state value. 50% of its steady state value from t equal to 0. From t equal to 0. Okay. So now, apart from this particular definition, delay time, I will explain you in this very simple words. I want to reach from 0 to 1. Okay. So in your logic design subject and digital electronic subjects and all, you people have studied that. So we will put a threshold. Okay. If 5 volt is a maximum value. Okay. If 5 volt is a maximum value. Okay. So if the value is after 2.5 volts, we can consider this as 1. Before 2.5 volts, below 2.5 volts, we'll consider as 0. Isn't it so? Do you know this particular concept, any one of you? You know it or not?
Yes, sir. Right.
Very good. So that is what exactly the question here. Okay. So here 50% why we take is, now previously the response is 0. Now it has to reach the value as 1. So 50% of the value means what? Exactly or half. Okay. If half is exceeded, then we can say that the response is obtaining. Okay. So that is why it is delay. So instantaneously response, whether, see, ideally what exactly happen? 1 means what? From 0 to 1, there should not be a time delay. It should go from 0 to 1 immediately. That is what our understanding. So in that understanding, in the practical system, that is not possible. When that is not possible, what is the solution? The solution is very simple. 50% of the time we will take, 50% of the time taken to reach the 50% of the response. Okay. So once we take the time as 50% of the response, then we can understand one thing. To reach that particular 50% of the time, that is called as what? Delay time. That is called as what? Delay. Okay. So that is why we consider here 50%, and here approximate expression. For this also there is no derivation. You can take that. Approximate expression for the delay time is given by TD is approximately equal to 1.1 plus 0.125 delta plus 0.469 delta square divided by omega n. Okay. So this is the final equation for the time domain response, time domain specifications of the second order system. Take on this one, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in this particular subject, okay, these are the derivations what we see. Okay, so there are some other derivations another one set of derivation is there, that is very simple derivation, not like this. Okay, so these are the lengthiest derivations what we have, okay, in this particular subject. Remaining all are just numericals. Okay, remaining all are numericals like block diagram reduction, like signal flow graph. Okay, so like that we are going to understand. Clear? So did you understand the derivations, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So you need to practice it. Okay. So once you understand, so don't sit idle. You just keep on practicing the things. So when you practice the things, you will learn better. Okay. That is what I can say. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, after we understand the derivations, we need to solve the numericals. Okay, we need to solve the numericals. In order to solve the numericals, first what we will do is, it is a good practice that we will list out the formulas always. Okay, so all formulas what we have derived, so we are going to list it out. So once we list the formulas, so later it is very easy for us to solve the things. Clear? So write down all of you formulae. Formula, singular, formulae. We'll write as a plural. The rise time, what is the rise time value? TR equal to what? Pi divided by pi minus phi divided by omega n into square root of 1 minus delta square, where phi value is tan inverse of square root of 1 minus delta square divided by delta. Okay, the unit is very important. Any time we are taken, we are deriving in terms of seconds. Okay, so are you listing out the formulas? Rise time, peak time, settling time.
Yes, sir.
So up to settling time and peak overshoot. These four set of formulas you need to list it out. First list out. Okay, it will be good thing. So best practices we say. So once we practice all these things, so we can understand the thing like see, when we know most of the things and when we know that how to solve it. So please make it fast. Once it is done, I'll go for a numerical. Taken all of you?
Yes, sir.
So once you take this one, we'll go for the first numerical. Okay. The unity feedback control system. unity feedback control system is characterized by open loop transfer function. Open loop transfer function. G of s into h of s is equal to G of s into h of s is equal to k divided by s into s plus 10 determine the gain k. Determine the gain k. So that the system will have damping ratio of 0.5. So that the system will have damping ratio of 0.5. Full stop. For this value of k, find the rise time, peak time, comma settling time, and peak overshoot. Full stop. Assume that the system is subjected to a step of 1 volt. Assume that the system is subjected to a step of 1 volt. Have you all taken the question, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now how to solve this one? Okay, see, when we are supposed to solve anything, so we need to see the formula once. Okay, so what they asked us to find the rise time, peak time, settling time, and peak overshoot. Okay, in order to find all these things, we have a formula, correct? All the formulas are based on the omega n and delta, isn't it so? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See here, all the formulas. Okay, when we're talking about rise time, pi is constant. Phi we need to find out. Phi is depending on tan inverse of delta 1 minus the square root of 1 minus delta square divided by delta omega n. So TR is depending on omega n and delta. TP is depending on omega n and delta. TS is depending on omega n. Peak overshoot is depending on delta. Clear? So in order to find all these things, so what we need to do? Okay, so it's very simple. We need to obtain the value of delta. We need to obtain the value of omega n. So if we obtain all these two values now, then there is no problem for us. We can substitute directly and we can obtain the answer. Isn't it so? Now the question is how to obtain the delta value and omega n value. That is the question. Is it clear to you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we consider this particular diagram. Okay, this particular block diagram, general block diagram. Okay, this is the second order general block diagram what we have considered for the derivation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the characteristic, all of write it down. Write this particular block diagram also. Solution. Write the block diagram, all of you. Solution. Write the block diagram. The characteristic equation for the present problem is. The characteristic equation for the present problem is. One plus g of s into h of s equal to 0. See, for every, note down all of you, for every second order system, this particular finding the characteristic equation is the fundamental step. Okay. So the characteristic equation to find out, we need to follow this one. Okay. So what is the standard equation from where we can get the characteristic equation is 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0. Okay. So that means what is a denominator? Okay. So denominator we have taken and we find that is a characteristic equation. We will use this particular concept of 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0 everywhere, not only here, throughout the subject from here onwards. Okay. So for every step, for every different methods are based on the particular characteristic equation. It's very simple. Characteristic equation is 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0. Okay. So if it is a positive feedback, okay, if it is a positive feedback, so here instead of positive sign 1 plus, you will get negative sign. That's all. Okay. So 99% of the times, negative positive feedback will not be given here onwards. Okay. That is why we can just understand one thing, that 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0 is the characteristic equation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So here I'll tell you one thing. If you reduce this particular minor feedback loop, what is the equation? Standard equation you will get g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s, correct? So I am telling that that particular denominator value 1 plus g of s into h of s is there, no? That will be equated to 0. That will give the characteristic equation. That is very simple. Nothing else we are doing. Is it clear to you? So in that case, 1 plus g of s into h of s equal to 0. You make it 1 plus k. So g of s into h of s equal to what? So according to the numerical, it is given here. Okay, k divided by s into s plus 10 equal to 0. Okay, so you simplify it. Okay, take the LCM, do it. You will get s square plus 10s plus k equal to 0. All of you got this one? S square plus 10s plus k equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, for the reference system, okay, reference system is for second order reference system. The characteristic equation when you're talking about, you will get like this. Okay, g of s into h of s, 1 plus g of s into h of s, the value is 1 plus g of s into h of s value is omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 delta omega n. Okay, so this is the equation, s square plus 2 delta omega n into s plus omega n square equal to 0. So this is the standard or reference characteristic equation of the second order system. Is it clear? So now once we get the reference equation and characteristic equation present problem, compare it. Okay, when you compare these two things, you will get the value of delta and omega n. Is it clear? Up to this particular stage, up to this particular reference, up to this particular reference system you take. So further, if you are interested and if you feel interesting to solve, you solve it and get the answer. Or else tomorrow class we will see this particular answer. Okay. So now 10 minutes early. See, 40 minutes only we have to take the class. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. In that 40 minutes, I will be waiting for 5 minutes in the beginning of the class. Okay, there 5 minutes will be over and I will be leaving 10 minutes early. So for 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 50 minutes will be lost. So out of 55 minutes, 15 minutes is last means what we will be left with only 40 minutes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now